welcome back to another edition of Akau TV. Another big week in the stable for the team. A couple of really nice winners at Ellerslie last week. Reese on Saturday, Charm Rose and War of Succession.
Charm Rose, great ride by Sage Jurek. Obviously had a small stint here in New Zealand, so it was great to get a winner for her. And obviously it's a filly or mare now that'll go on with it. And War of Succession, time has been his friend and the owners are getting repaid. They paid a lot of money for him and it was just great to see him run home so strongly in such a good, strong race. So there's bigger targets for him coming up. And then going to Wednesday with the Avantage filly, it was just great to get the job done. She was a filly that we've had a lot of time for all the way through. We looked after her. We could have raced her as a 2-year-old, but we decided not to, and she's repaying our owners now. And then obviously the abandonment of Geelong on Wednesday, it went to Thursday, and we were good enough to take out the Geelong Classic with Azazel, a horse that we paid $120,000 for at the Ready to Run sale. The Ready to Run sale is coming up again, so perfect timing. Just shows that you can get a really good staying horse, and now he's a Group 3 winner. And Sort of Stars is just in behind us, that's running in the 2-year-old race at Ellerslie. She's very friendly and wants to chat with everyone. And then we've obviously got a big team of runners this weekend, both in Australia and in New Zealand, in both parts of the island, the North, CD and down south.
So we'll kick it off at Riccarton, obviously the feature of the day, the Group 3 Water Cree Stakes. We've got a couple of nice runners, in the 2,000 metre listed classic race as well, and excited to see Out of the Blue, nice 2-year-old by Tavachi back at the races. So we'll kick off in race 2. One True King. Thought his effort at Ashburton on debut was very good, very tough from the drawer, but stuck on really gamely. Take good benefit with the experience. Opie jumps aboard. He's got a bit of a kinder barrier there as well. So looking forward to him heading back to the races, and if he was to run well, we can potentially look at a nice race for him on Cup Week. Reese, race 3, Out of the Blue.
He's a horse that was very good and professional on debut. Obviously, he still has a lot to learn, but he would have taken a lot out of that race, so expect big improvement. Obviously, he's got the penalty with the weight, but we've got Opie on. He looks to be a really nice chance again. Obviously, Samantha Wynn's horse is a trial winner, looks a very promising type, but having had that run, he should be a very good chance.
So we head to race 5 following that. 4 really nice chances in the 75 1200, probably headed by Legally Binding. He's run two really good races down in the south. He's settled in really well. Take good benefit from those races. He had to do it tough there last time from a wide gate. Opie aboard, looks nicely placed to run another really good race. Hooray for Harry. I thought his run last time was better than it looked. Certainly played very on speed that day. And he actually got home nicely against the pattern. So back to Riccarton, where he always runs well. Look for a much improved performance from him at decent odds. And Vivacious and Portia Katonis both resuming after a bit of a freshen up. Vivacious, a very talented galloper on her day. So excited to see her back at the races. And Portia Katonis worked through the grades nicely there last time. She'll take good benefit from the fresh up experience there on Saturday, so probably look for her next time, but more than capable of running a cheeky race. So like I say, 4 nice each way chances there, and then on to race 7, Reese. I'm a Dirty Rascal.
He's a horse that handled the travel well to Riccarton. He's obviously a very experienced traveller, having travelled the world. The step up to 3,000 metres looks to be ideal for him. He ran really well at Taupo over 2,600 metres, and the step up and trip will be ideal. So expect a nice run from him. Obviously, drawing barrier 1, you'd have liked to probably drawn out a bit more. He might get locked away a bit, but look, the horse is going well, and he finds himself in a race that he could turn his form around. Then we move on to the Water Cree Stakes, a race that we've had a lot of luck in the past few years. Obviously, 2 really exciting horses bred by Arrowfield and Northern Farms, so they've got the pedigrees to back up their looks. Obviously both very lightly raced and obviously going to benefit from the outings, but War of Silence, he looks a really top class animal, and obviously the draw's a little bit sticky first time going over a mile. We'll just have to see how the track's playing and decide where he ends up later in the day. But Origin of Love, I thought her run was really good at Ashburton. She raced like a mile will suit. Pedigree out of a Camelot mare, it'll help her. So expect a really good effort from her from a nice soft alley.
On to race 9, the TAB mile trial, the Open 1400. So another nice two-pronged attack for the team here. Stony Breck, he gets in really well in the weights with Perfect Scenario up the top there. His win last start couldn't have been more impressive. We kept him nice and fresh to go 1400 again, and Opie jumps aboard, which is obviously a massive plus. So looks really nicely placed to run a really good race there again, and Perfect Scenario, he's certainly knocking on the door again this campaign without a lot of luck. He's running really good races, and he was a very good second there last time to Stony Breck, like I say, without a lot of luck. So he's not far away. I think Sage Stewart's claim will certainly help, so he gets in well as well. So another nice two-pronged attack for the team, and two nice each-way chances. And that leads us to another of the features today, the listed Spring Classic over 2,000 metres. Cognito and Elegant Lady. First off, Elegant Lady, obviously the race last time was very messy. Thankfully, she managed to avoid that fall there, but stuck on really nicely, not beaten far. Will take good benefit to go 2,000 metres again after a really good run at 2,000 last time. A little bit of a sticky gate, but sneaks in with a nice light weight. And Cognito, he's running really well. We gave him a bit of a freshen up into Ashburton. He just felt the pinch a bit late there. But he'll take good benefit from that. He's really enjoying the South Island, and Hunter and the team are doing a fantastic job with him. So he should run really well again, and Opie aboard is obviously another massive plus. Reese, we round out the day with Shockabella.
Ran really well first up, obviously over a trip that's far short of her best. The step up to a mile will be ideal. Obviously barrier manners are key for her. Hopefully she behaves herself, can end up in the first half of the field. Opie's obviously riding very well, so very happy to have him aboard, and as long as she does everything well, I believe we can wrap up the day with a win.
So that takes us to the meeting up here in the north at Ellerslie, and we kick off the day with the star of the show here, Sort of Stars. So really excited to see her make her debut. She's been very natural here at home. We would have loved another trial probably leading into Saturday, but unfortunately just with the way the trial schedule has been, we've sort of had to play the cards we've been dealt, but she's really forward, jumped out nicely here at Matamata last week. So like I say, excited to see her make her debut. Obviously we had a lot to do with Sort of State here at Te Akau, so to have one of his progeny early to the races is really exciting for the team, and confident she can run really well based off that trial and what she's shown us here at home. So that leads us to race 2, the 75 2200 metre race, Vicky's last call.
Vicky's last call was obviously excellent at Tauranga last time out. Obviously big step up in grade, going from midweek 65 to 75 on a Saturday at Ellerslie. But look, she's drawn probably in a spot where Grillsy has a few options. He can decide how he wants to ride her. She's right in the market. As long as she's taking good improvement from that outing, she should be competitive again. And then obviously we move on to race 3, Belle Chevelle, a filly that you have a lot of time for, Sam.
Yeah, really impressed with her first up run there at Taupo. She's still very green and learning what it's all about, and got a long way off them and copped a couple of pieces of interference throughout the running, but managed to pick herself up and still run a really good third. So look, she's taken really good improvement from that. Her work on Tuesday here at Matamata was super. Just a little bit of a niggly gait, which is probably the only query, but excited to see her back at the races and confident she can run really well, especially up to the 1400 as well. So another really nice chance for the team at Ellerslie, and with that shifts us to race 4, Reese, the Open 1200 Celestial Wonder.
Obviously, a mare that's come back in great order, couldn't be any more impressive at Ellerslie last time out. Obviously has to take the jump now to open grade, but luckily enough we've drawn a soft barrier. She can land there or thereabouts in the running, and it obviously will tell us where she's at for the rest of the season, but obviously couldn't be any happier with the way she's come back. It was a great effort out of Ellerslie first up, and obviously post that we'll move on to race 6, and where we have 2 real genuine big time horses.
So the Open Mile, 2 really nice older horses here. What You Wish For and Midnight Blue. Midnight Blue, the 9-year-old, he's going really well here at home. He actually galloped between races there at Ellerslie on Saturday. Worked was super, so he's bouncing around the place full of confidence, and excited to see him back at the races. He'll take good improvement from the first up run, but hopefully he can run well and we can target some nice races over Christmas with him. And What You Wish For, I think, expect him to bounce back to a bit of form after his first up effort at Taupo. Just found the 1300 too sharp, fresh up, and he horse that had a really good season last year, and up to the mile at Ellerslie. I think you can expect a much improved performance from him. So 2 nice older horses there, and that shifts us to top shelf there in the 65-mile race.
A horse that's been obviously waiting to get to the races for a long time, just wet tracks. Draws haven't been our friend, but it was great to see her race so well. First up at Tauranga over the 1400, up to the mile. Second up looks to be perfect for her. Obviously has to cut the weight, but she's drawn a nice alley that she should get a soft run in transit. Craig gets on with her really well, so expect a really big performance from her second up as long as everything works out to plan. Then obviously we moved to Trentham on Sunday, where we've got 2 really exciting 2-year-olds taking place down there. Obviously we couldn't be any happier with Zaharias' trial. It was a really good effort out of Ellerslie, and there's been good trial form come out of that trial since. Joe Doyle came in during the week and galloped her. He gave her the big tick of approval, so we're very pleased with that. And then 6-7, he's a horse that has jumped out well at home, same as Sword of Stars. You'd like to have had another trial or had a trial, but he's just been so professional at home. We're happy to take him to the races. Also on Sunday, we have one runner racing out of Australia, a mare in the Cambridge Stud colours called Estene. She's racing in race 8, Luke Cartwright aboard. She's a filly that Mark had a really high opinion of in the early days, just a bit immature and just took a bit of time to develop, but the penny's certainly starting to drop now. She looks to be a really nice chance. The team are very pleased and confident with the race they've picked out for us, so expect a really good each-way chance there.
So the big weekend carries on into Monday, public holiday. Excited to head to Te Rapa with a really nice team of runners, and we kick off with Hostility in race 3, the maiden 1300. Unfortunately, he's drawn the car park, and with a bit of rain about, I suppose it is a little bit of a query whether he runs. We're just going to see what happens in the next couple of days or so and sit down with him, but really happy with how he's come on since that very, very unlucky effort at Taupo. Couldn't have gone more wrong for him. Unfortunately, just was a bit of a lad in the barriers. Took a while to muster a bit of speed early, and then unfortunately got run off on the corner. But his sectionals were really good, and he, like I say, he's come through the run super. He's really trained on well. He's coming on right in the coat at the right time, and really sort of pleased with how he's tracking heading into a potential 2,000 guineas effort down there in the south. So, like I say, time will sort of tell with him. But couldn't be more pleased with how he's working heading into Monday. And then on to Cool and Fast in the 65-13, another probably doubtful runner. He's drawn the outside, and there is a race for him at Tauranga, but he's going really well. I think the step up to 1300 suits. Unfortunately, he lets himself down in the barriers, which he did in Taupo, and just had a bit of a tough run. But up to the 1300, his work was really good here on Thursday. So if he is to take part, he'll run well, but unlikely due to the barrier. So that takes us on to the feature race of the day, the Annie Sarton race, He Who Dares.
He's a horse that we've been very pleased with. His work's been good. His one race this season was excellent. He probably is a bit stiff not to be winning that, but he's trained on well. His work at Ellerslie was really good. We were very pleased with him. Drawing a nice soft alley on Monday will be obviously key. Hopefully he can just sit in behind the speed. Gaps can open when they open. We've got Opie on, who's obviously riding as good as he ever has. So very happy in that perspective. So expect a really big run, and hopefully we have a Group 2 colt by Snitzel after Monday.
And that leads us into a really nice race, the Open 1400. 3 really talented gallopers in this, Wild Knight, Captured by Love and Taliska. Taliska, I think he can improve certainly a lot off his first up effort there at Taupo. He has run well at Te Rapa before the step up to 1400 suits. Nice lightweight, and Bruno jumps aboard, who's also riding in fantastic form. Wild Knight, he'll take good improvement out of Taupo. Also just sort of found that track a bit tight for him, and unfortunately blew the start there as well. So Opie aboard, knows him really, really well, and he worked nicely here on Thursday morning. And Captured by Love, another one coming out of Taupo, take good benefit from it up to the 1400, I think suits, and heading to Te Rapa with her. Bit of a bigger track for her, and hopefully that rain stays away and we can get on a good surface there for her. Sneaks in well at the weights, we think, with Craig Grills aboard. So 3 really nice each way chances, who should all run really well. That leads us to the 75 1200 race. 3 really nice chances there as well.
All horses that will obviously continue to improve once they get deeper in a preparation. Trobriand, he was very unlucky in a really strong race at Taupo last time out. He fought as well as he could after getting obviously badly interfered with at the 250. Bruno was very confident he was going to be right in it, but he's trained on well. Obviously he has to carry the weight on Monday, but he's going nicely, and Opie up is a big bonus. And then Mal Mason, obviously you'd have liked to have seen a little more from him at Te Rapa, but he's gone the right way in training since then. He hadn't raced for nearly 300 days, so there was going to be a lot of improvement to come from that, and we certainly have seen it on the training side. So we're very pleased with him. And then Zantabulous, still 5th on the ballot, but hopefully they get the scratchings with a bit of rain around. Obviously she handles rain affected going, likes Te Rapa. She's a mare that we have a lot of time for, that's just had a few niggling issues along the way, but if she was to get a start, I'm sure she'd run really well. And that then moves us to the last on the day. 2 nice horses going forward, obviously Family Ties and El Viento. El Viento is very good at Rotorua, just a bit fractious in the barriers, just didn't get into a spot that we would have liked to have seen him in, but hopefully he can behave himself on Monday and try and get into a better position than he has. Step up the 1500 metres will be key. Obviously he does need to improve though off his 2 runs this time in, but we've seen really good signs from him in the feed bin training track, so very happy. And Family Ties is just going to continue to improve once she gets up over more ground. Does find herself in a very strong race with a lot of weight on, but as long as she's hitting the line strongly, we'll be very happy. And that wraps up our runners over the next few days. Obviously a lot of them, and best bet for the weekend, Sam?
Yeah, it's a really nice team, both North and South and Australia. It's obviously probably hard to go past Out of the Blue, but really excited to see Belle Chevelle take the next step, hopefully, from that debut effort. She's had a really good divvy for the viewers, so I think she can run really well. And Reese, best bet or one to follow?
Look, I think one to follow out of Saturday will be War of Silence. I think he's a colt that has a massive profile that's just going to continue to improve with the more and more he does.
Another exciting piece of news for the Te Akau team. We've had the honour of having a race named after our champion mare Imperatriz there on Cox Plate Day, run over 1,000 metres. Obviously a very special and fitting honour for one of Te Akau's greatest ever racehorses to come through the stable, I suppose. Obviously, the heights she reached here in New Zealand and Australia, she's held in a very special place in a lot of our team's hearts. And to have a race named on Cox Plate Day after her is really special, and something, which I think can't go unnoticed, and the team are really excited for. And the last piece of exciting news for a really big weekend for the team, we've launched our brand new Te Akau Racing merchandise website. So that's separate from our normal Te Akau Racing website. So it's merchandise.teakauracing.com, and it includes lots of different pieces of Te Akau Racing branded merchandise, including our Group 1 Te Akau Legacy Jacket, a premium limited edition design celebrating our Trans-Tasman success over the past few years. And so stock arrives at the end of the month for immediate shipment. As part of this, we're launching our custom horse merchandise service. So owners can now design bespoke pieces for their horse or syndicate, which I think is a really fun and creative idea of certainly going to the races and celebrating or supporting your own horse. And we certainly believe that every horse deserves to be celebrated, and hopefully our creative team can bring those ideas to life.
So a really busy weekend of racing ahead for us this weekend, obviously, and then looking towards next weekend, we've got Damascus flying the flag in the Empire Rose, and obviously Azazel will be at the Victorian Derby and possibly another one. So Australia has plenty going on next weekend, whereas New Zealand's got a bit of a quieter time of it. But obviously, good luck to all owners this coming weekend. Just keep an eye on our socials and media for all the updates going forward. But good luck to everyone, and we'll see you again next week.